Warning, this video will use new WorldBox features. Stay tuned. Now that I have your attention, let's get started with today's video. Now, one thing in the new update I haven't really played around with that much, I have, but not as much as I would like, is genetics. It took me a while to even discover it, but genetics was an absolute game changer. You can do so much with it. So I figured for today, what would happen if we just follow the life of a random dude for 1,000 years who's unkillable? He's completely... So, with that said, let's get started. Hey guys, you should also totally join my Discord and become a channel member if you want to support me out. Links are in the description. Come on guys, do it. So we're going to do this with humans, and we're going to just spawn in a bunch. We're going to make a bunch of kingdoms. Just like so, I spawned in 1,700 humans, and let me give them a few years, maybe it's like year 30 to develop, before we spawn in our guy. Alright, that's roughly year 30, and the world population has almost doubled. Well, first we have to spawn our person, and if you aren't aware, if you spawn a human next to another human, they will be in the same subspecies. So if you want to make a completely individual new subspecies, you are going to have to spawn them far away from any other humans. Now look at this guy's name. Wow, I was going to change his name, but Warden is an awesome default name. Why does it sound so cool, like the Warden of Life? You know, let's name that, the Warden of Life, and we'll just call him Warden. That's awesome. So, now let's customize him. So like I said, we're not going to make him overpowered, we're just going to make him... So we're going to give him super health, and boosted vitality, and obviously immortality. But don't worry, we're going to add more too. Any other traits he has is just completely random. He looks like he spawned with lucky and ambitious, which is good for him. Those are pretty good traits. Now we are going to move on to his genetics. So you see all of this stuff here? We're just going to change this all hearts. Alright, here we are. So we have a lot more health now. And I was even able to put in some of these male bonuses because our dude's a male. And which should give him some more health. And in burst editor, because why not, we're going to give him immortal, which this doesn't affect his actual traits, but it could come in handy. And just for the sake of making sure he's still alive, we are going to give him accelerated healing as well. But now our guy is complete, and I want to see how much health he has, because honestly, I'm not even lying, this guy probably has the most health in any WorldBox world ever. Ever. I'm not even lying when I say ever. So I'm going to check, and we have to see. Oh my god, he has 1.1 million health. If this guy dies, I don't think he can. I don't think it's possible for him to die. But as a matter of fact, I'm actually going to add every single trait that will give him more health. So we're going to give him Blessed, Veteran, Giant gives 50% more health. And now he's been upgraded. And he only got a little bit more health, but still, now he's powerful. Look at his lifespan. If you check his lifespan here, it's just question marks. No one knows, because it's infinite. So now, we need to take the Warden of Life and stick him into a kingdom. I say let's go with the kingdom right here of Yesto. And who knows how he's going to fare. Looks like he's already been integrated into society. He's doing A-okay. And looks like right now he's just going to be a humble farmer. But one thing I'm going to do is I suspect over the 1,000 years that we're going to be following this guy, that he's going to be in a lot of conflicts and he might even become king of some kingdoms. So for whatever kingdom he's in, for whatever culture they have, which right now is a lot of cultures, we're going to pick on that culture and we are going to turn on... I thought there was a setting for oldest leadership. I thought for succession you can make it so the oldest becomes the leader. Because right here we have ultimogeniture, which means the youngest becomes the leader. But surprisingly the oldest doesn't. So instead, I guess I'm going to go with the Fame's Crown, where the most renowned and celebrated inherits the throne. Because I'm assuming our dude, over time, is going to get pretty famous. But for now, we just let him live his life. And until something interesting happens, since we have a lot of years to go, I'm just going to do a little time lapse of us following him around until something cool happens. So, it's time lapse time, go. Also, by the way, I turned off his stomach because I didn't want him to starve to death by some means, so just know that. And the Warden of Life is now 100 years old, and we're in the year 113, and just a reference, we're going until he's 1,000 years old. And you may have noticed that I've actually given him 4 more powers. I gave him fireproof, acid-proof, freeze-proof, and poison immunity because I realized he could still die from those things as well. But if you were looking at the time lapse, he literally just stayed over here the whole time. So let's get some things to spice it up. His kingdom, named Yesto, is actually pretty solid. Looks like this kingdom of Great Fytak is the biggest in the land, so they might try to fight Yesto soon. So my strategy is, if Warden isn't going to join the military, then why don't we just turn on angry villagers? And furthermore, I'm also going to give our guy immune too, because I forgot that could be an issue as well. So now, with that on, let's continue following him, and unless something really interesting happens, I will check back with you guys when he is 250 years old, which is a quarter of the way there. And he is 129 years old, only a little bit of time has passed, but I just want to let you guys know that the Warden has joined the military, so we might see him in some epic conflicts pretty soon. Slowing down here, it looks like the Warden's in a war with some kingdoms, so I'm going to zoom out. They're at war with Great Fytak, but the thing is, for some reason, Warden is extremely slow. Why does he have 1 speed? I'm not quite sure why, so I'm actually going to give him a little bit more speed. I'm just going to make him fast. I think I'm realizing now why he's so slow is probably because of his genetics, which might explain a myriad of other things too. So I'm going to actually take off some of these just so I can make him an actual decent human. So how about we give him, in places that aren't needed, a little bit of the fast traits. Say here, that should be good. And then we could probably go with attack speed here. And now our guy should be a bit more rounded out. So our guy lost about 60,000 health, which may seem like a lot, but that's really very little to him. But now he has some decent amount of speed, so that's good. But also I noticed that our guy has a couple of kids. And one of them has 22,000 HP. His name is Fidin, it doesn't matter. And he has Immortality, the Scarlet of Divinity, which is interesting because I actually never touched him. And look at all that health. So this guy, if we look at his subspecies, he is actually the 3rd member of this subspecies. But regardless, now the Warden of Life is at war, and let's see what he can do. And right now, he's getting absolutely wrecked by pretty much the entire Fytak army or whatever, but yeah, it's not like it's gonna matter much. His health is barely going down, and that's what I thought was gonna happen. After a while, they would just give up and let him back into the kingdom. For now, the Warden of Life has returned to a life of farming, it seems, but he did manage to get 4 kills during the war, so that still sets him well on his way to his journey of becoming the most legendary warrior, or just person in general, in the entire world. And it looks from this that the Warden of Life is back in the army. As a matter of fact, if you can see this little thing, he's also the general of the army too, which is very interesting for him. And looks like he's going to go help in a war that's almost over. So let's keep looking at him and his adventures as a new member of the army. Jeez, he's fast. And another conflict has begun here. He went up north all by himself, and he's getting... Oh my god, look at the camera shaking. He's getting tag teamed by 50 people. He's actually losing a decent amount. Well, actually, he's not losing health. He's gaining more health from getting a higher level. 14 kills now as he continues just charging in. Look at his kills soaring up, and he's so fast now. So after that large battle, he's now equipped an adamantium hammer, has a near full set of silver armor with some bone equipment. He also has a new lover now. Oh my god, he's 202 years old, and he's dating a 37-year-old. When will he learn? With that said, he now has 25 kills and 250 renown, which I'm not sure if that's good, but it's higher than it was. And in terms of kids now, he has a lot of kids. Some of them are very overpowered. One of his younger boys, Tozo Hato, has over 1 million health himself too. Now, I don't want all of these 1 million health guys running around, so I'm going to go in his traits and give him infertile, meaning that he will no longer have any kids. However, all of his kids do have the immortal trait, and some of them, all have an extreme health as well. Still, we're going to have to deal with a lot of immortals for a while, but the Warden of Life is the main one we want to focus on, so let's keep following him. And the Warden of Life is now 250 years old. And he's doing pretty alright. The only change in his equipment is now he's wielding an axe instead of a hammer. He has over 50 kills now. His renown is doubled. Okay, the love gap's getting a bit better here. He's now dating a 70-year-old. Still roughly 180-year-old age difference. But you know, when you're an immortal, you gotta take what you can get. I forgot that if we make the Warden of Life infertile, it doesn't make his kids infertile. So the subspecies is still growing, but we can try to limit that. Let's set a minimal population limit. That way it can only be limited to 50. And then next, let's set a gestation period of 50 years. Now, that's all we're pretty much going to look at. The Kingdom of Great Fightak is still going very strong. However, it's carrying a lot more cities than it should be able to hold. And like I said earlier, you know what? Let's look at the dominant culture of this kingdom, which according to their graph is the Wuduian. And let's just go with the most famous person will get it, which I believe might be the Warden of Life. So let's see when the other king dies. Let's see if the Warden of Life becomes a king. But if not, I will see you guys at year 500, where we'll check in with him again. Oh, and a shocking turn of events here, as the Warden of Life is now a part of a rebellion within Great Fightak. Luckily, his son Kovo, who's right over here, is fighting alongside him. So as long as they live in the same city, they should be fine. But let's see what happens here. It's getting absolutely pelted with bombs, but his health is just not dropping at all. And he's now up over 100 kills with 1.5 million HP. And once again, as soon as the war ended, they just let him back into society, but now he's once again a humble farmer. Look at this, he's over 400 years old. It took him 400 years, but our guy is now a city leader. He has 178 kills. His subspecies is still hard stuck at 50 people. Let's check in on his son. Kovo, his son, has actually managed to become a king. As a matter of fact, his other son, Nonan, has also become a king, and his other son, Tozoto, has 190 kills and 2 million potential HP. If they can do all that, then why can't our guy can surely become a king at some point, right? Regardless, what a very successful family. He has gone 3 for 3 so far with absolute legends. Let's just hope that he doesn't have to fight one of them one day. But even if he does, I feel like that fight would last way too long. He's a part of a relatively small kingdom called the Great Kohohovo. And one of the kings is actually his son, meaning that chances are he will not become king anytime soon. But who knows? Let's keep following him around and see what happens. And we are now at year 500, which is pretty insane for our king, I'm gonna have to say. He is now 500 years old and halfway to where we're gonna see. He currently has 182 kills, along with 1900 renown. He's level 19, and he's doing good. As for his kids, I'm sorry, but let's be real here. I think I'm gonna have to kill them. I hate that's terrible to say, but it really can only be one. And I forgot, I probably should have just made it so he was infertile from the start. Meaning, unfortunately, I must put down his children. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the children of his children and so on are all fair game. But his immediately children, I think I'm going to have to get rid of them. Starting with Kovo. You are amazing, Kovo, but you are gone. Next is the one with nearly 2 million health, Tozoto. Once again, farewell. And lastly, the king of this kingdom, Nonan, which with his death should mean that the Warden of Life will become the king of this new empire. Warden is now the king of the Great Kohovovo. Looking at the rest of the world, the new powerful kingdom is the kingdom of Saracha. I'm just going to say is Sriracha. They have more population and really kind of tower over Great Kahovovo, but who knows? Anything can really happen, and with Warden of Life as the new king, well, I'm excited to see where this could go. In the south, it's kind of a free-for-all down here in the south, but it's insane how 500 years of this guy's life have passed, and he is still literally like feet away from where he's been since day one, which is this farm right here. So let's see what he can do. And once again, unless something really cool happens, we are going to check back in at year 750, so enjoy this time lapse. And at year 750, I have a little surprise plan that should maybe kick some things into gear here. So as you can see here, the kingdom that our warden was a part of is no longer in existence. Our warden, who's now a very interesting age, he is now a village leader once again, now one of the leaders of this kingdom of Basada. But something happened, and now our guy is no longer a king. Wow. He is 666 years old, and he's dating a 66-year-old. This person is literally 1/10 his age. This person is 10% of his age. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised at this point. I'm not really sure what wealth does, but he has 18,000 coins, if that means anything at all. So, well, I guess I just want to tell you guys that, and we will wait till he is 750 years old now. So just 20 years after, I looked out again. Once again, I'm not quite sure what happened, but the warden looks like he revolted, formed his own kingdom, and has become a king once again. So let's keep watching. So we are slightly past year 750 now, and we find the warden in the midst of battle at war with 3 different kingdoms. And remember, angry villagers is still on for 2 reasons: to give some more conflict into the game, but also to make sure my game doesn't crash, as when I have too many people, my game likes to slow down. So right now we have our king. He has the potential of 2.6 million HP. In terms of kills, he is only up to 226, only a few since we checked in last. He is dating a younger person now. Fantastic. But other than that, that's pretty much all that's going on. I already told you that he became the king of his own new kingdom called Vahoto. I said at year 750, we're going to add a little twist. And that twist is we are going to make a combination over here in this kingdom of Great Gata. We're going to infect everyone with the plague, which, remember, warden is immune. And then we're also going to infect everyone with the mush. So everyone who has the plague is going to die and then turn into mush. And we're going to see what happens to the world. So we're going to keep following the warden, but we're going to zoom out enough so that we can see how the world reacts. So let's do this time lapse. So as we're in year 830, it looks like the mush for the most part was kind of repelled, but our population has tanked to like 5 people. But let's get this a lot worse. There's still too much chaos. I'm talking mush over everyone now. I just want to see what happens. I just want to get a good look into it. Everyone gets mushed, okay? Other than obviously warden, because warden is he's a dog. So let's zoom out again and keep seeing how everything's going. And there it is, 1,000 years old, with the potential of having 3.1 million health. I'm not even sure if this guy can die. So if you would like to see me making a video of trying to kill this dude, I'd be more than willing to do that. Let's look at the most interesting world stats now, and yeah, most known, the Warden of Life, the highest level, at level 38. Is the Warden of Life. The oldest, at precisely 1,000 years old, is the Warden of Life. Most kills, Warden of Life. Richest, Warden of Life. Even the happiest is the Warden of Life. But shockingly, the strongest does not go to the Warden of Life. Strongest with only 54 attack power goes to Zorovo. They are actually a descendant of the Warden himself. But for now, that is all that has happened. We saw Warden lived in the same village of Netro his entire life. With angry villagers on, the world population has actually decreased 1,000 since we started. He started by humbly farming, and the farm that used to be right here has been turned into what looks like housing development now. He became a village leader and is now a king. Granted, he's only commanding over 5 people, but remember, he also had to survive the mush plague. And once again, make sure to join my Discord or even become a channel member if you want to support me. And in my Discord server, that's actually where I got the idea for this video. And I may be planning on making a story video similar to something like this one day, but I would have to figure that out. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, all that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell.